So we talked about managing the dog with diarrhea, and even when he's got diarrhea, I'm going to ensure that he gets a proper amount of protein. I can't give him a small meal because I know what that does when the dog doesn't have the proper resources in his body. Meaning, the dog eats something in the body's in a catabolic state, needs a lot of energy. It's going to read it as energy, and potentially could cause what? An influx of more stress on the digestive system. So this has been zeroed out. Tron is about 60 plus pounds. He needs roughly 1 gram of protein per pound. He's a super active dog, so he can eat up to 2 grams of protein per pound. And this right here is a full, I don't know if this is a full chicken, this might be a full chicken breast. So that's 5 grams of protein, or 5 ounces. Well, let's take a look at this. We did this in a video on our other social media. So for every 4 ounces, it's 25 grams of protein. So how many ounces are in a pound? 16. Tron, again, that right there is only 25 grams of protein. He needs 1 gram of protein per pound. So at least 2 chicken breasts, which put us at 10. 10 means it's a little over 50 grams. But because I'm like, you know what? He's a super active dog, if you guys have been paying attention. So all this meat right here is about 1 pound. 1 pound is equal to what? 4 times 25 is 100 grams of protein. Is that going to be excessive? No. Why? Because I'm going to add a cup of quinoa. I'm going to add some of this good stuff. The one thing I'm not going to add in this case, which I'll add to his meal later, are the greens. The greens, you know what happens when you eat greens, especially spinach. That stuff will have you run into the bath. That fiber, sometimes that could be too much. But as his stomach begins to get better, again, I don't use rice. It synthesizes quick. This right here does not spike insulin levels. It's low on the glycemic index. The glycemic index used to mean nothing to people because they didn't understand how it impacted their bodies. So it's like, I need a sugar. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Have you ever had Tahitian treat? Back in the day, what we do is we take a protein shake. Here we go, these dogs. We take a protein shake back in the day, but we drink a Tahitian treat first if we didn't have any waxy maize or dextrose, which are artificial carbohydrates. So you stack a scoop of carbs with a scoop of protein, and you take it after workout because your body's in its, all the glycogen's been depleted. It's in the highest state of receiving and getting the nutrients it needs pushed back into the cells. So you stack the two, and all the stuff you need will go right back into the cells in the healthiest way possible. Well, supplements ain't that healthy, to be clear. But point is we'd stack that sugar, and you'd want that to take place after workout. Tron's simply resting, recovering today. He's got some inflammation. He's got irritable bowel syndrome. Not playing, he don't have that, but he does been pooping like squirting. So I say, how do I solve this problem? I want something low that's not going to spike his sugar levels. I want some chicken because it's low in fat, so it's not going to inflame him any. Jamarcus made a point, and we did another video on our TikTok where he said, hey, and you know this too, if you have an upset stomach, you have diarrhea, you booing a lot, you know you don't go eat steak. You don't go eat a bunch of red meat because that's going to cause more discomfort. So the chicken or tilapia, if your dog again has any inflammation or an allergy, to chicken, use tilapia. It's low in fat. It's low in fat, just like this, and it should cause no inflammation and no discomfort. So you stack this with this, add a little bit of this, add some of that pumpkin. We threw some egg whites in there as well in the quinoa. We cooked that in the quinoa. We're going to give him 2 cups of quinoa and all that chicken with a half of a cup, realistically, of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to just give him a 1/4 of a cup of our bone stock. What does beef bone broth do? It helps with what? Absorption of nutrients. See all that stuff sitting at the top? That's collagen. That's all the collagen coming from the neck bones. As they say, man. Look at this here. That's gonna cook. That still has to cook for about 8 hours. I only started cooking this last night, so to be honest, it's been cooking for 8 hours. But I'm gonna load up on it. So I've got a couple things, some beef bone marrow I'm gonna leave in there. So, guys, you got a dog that has diarrhea. You want things that lower the glycemic index as far as how it affects the bloodstream. And meaning, if you eat sugar, you get real high. You don't want your dog getting high, per se, when it's dealing with any inflammation or discomfort in its gut. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs. Keep asking questions. I'm not really reading them. But I know that on the other platforms is where I get a lot of engagement, and I see we got some subscribers, and I appreciate everybody. Hopefully this helps, because we're going to press play and post. Thank you as always.